Welcome to Hefja. This week, I'm going to take you through my entire full upper body workout, show you how I lost 40 pounds in 4 months, and I'm going to give you the tools to do it. Let's get started. Alright, so it is Tuesday. Today is my upper day. I'm going to take you through the entire workout, and you can see what I do and how I do it. If I've warmed up a little bit, this is when I'll start sipping on my pre-workout. What I take is pretty strong, so I don't just down it before the workout. Otherwise, I'll be jittery through the entire thing. So even though I'm not training for building strength currently, I still bench like a conventional powerlifter. So if you'll watch when I go to set myself, I always make sure that my shoulders are locked into the bench as hard as possible. That's after I set my hands where I want them to be. After that, I will keep my feet up on the bench and drop my butt and almost pull my butt as far up to my shoulders as possible before putting my feet on the ground and locking my feet in. Once I get my feet flat on the ground, I'll kind of twist them and try and walk them in closer to the rest of my body as close as possible, because that ensures that my feet aren't going to come sliding out from under me and keeps me as stable as possible. So this is going to be my last warm-up, a single at 315. This is kind of going to tell me where I'm going to be at for strength today. My first working set is supposed to be a heavy set of 4 to 6 reps. So depending on how this feels, we may go 325, 335, maybe 340 if this feels really nice. I don't feel the best, so try 330. Go for 4 to 6 at 330. Check that, 335. Yeah, 3 is enough of that. I'm going to drop down to 295. Alright, so I do bench on both my upper days. My first upper day of the week, I use as a heavy bench day. My second one, I use more of a hypertrophy bench day. Alright, so now we got lat pull downs. You can see I don't have anything to keep my legs down, so you'll see how I improvise. But we're starting out at 90 pounds. I don't remember what I did last time, so do a little warm-up set, check that, add some weight, go from there. So I had to go back a little further than I thought I would, because my community gym right over there has a lat pull down machine. That's what I've been using the past couple times. It's like 100 yards away from my house, so it's easy to walk over there when I don't like set this up. So last thing I had written down was 180. So we're gonna do 200. See what that feels like. And I always recommend using straps. I know a lot of people talk about, hey, like their crutches, blah, blah, blah. Well, the truth is, one, I do have weak hands too. If you're able to remove your hand, you're able to focus a lot more on the muscle that you want to focus on. So for me, my lats, not having to put my hand on the other side of the bar and being able to like suicide grip it, I feel a lot more stretch in my lats when I do that. 8, felt pretty good. Do one more set of that. Move on. Typically when you go for hypertrophy, 6 reps is like the bottom that you want to be at. Typically like 8 to 12, maybe 15. That's where you want to be sitting at if you're trying to grow muscle more than strength. So I kind of keep it toward the bottom end until my second upper day. I don't like using the wraps for this kind of grip, so I just chop it. If you don't have one, you have a problem with grinding your teeth while you're working out, get some sort of mouth guard. This is New Age. Really need a new one. I've had this one way too long, but it works great. All right. One more set of these. Plan calls for skull crushers. However, I'm all about as minimal setup as possible, especially in a home gym where I have to set everything up, break everything back down. So we're gonna do tricep push downs, and we also have a few sets of dumbbell curls, which are also supposed to be easy bar curls. And then I think some lat raises. That's about it. Clearly not doing tricep push downs at 180 pounds. That'd be crazy. So tricep push downs. If you watch the way that I move my body, I try to not just bend out the elbow. There's some videos that I watch with people like Mike Israel, Ryan Shaw, and Eddie Hall, where they recommend rather than just bending your elbows down, you're gonna notice that you really feel your elbow. Rather than that, you're going to push out and down. Best way I can explain it. But making sure that you're really using your tricep to press it down. You don't have to focus on just keeping that arm straight as much as the press part. Really start to feel that pump coming in. How many was that? First up was 14. I think 8 and then 9. That's fine. Good. Alright, so rather than moving on to the bicep curls now, we're going to do lat raises because I have these iron plate loaded ones. And I'm planning on doing 35 with curls. The bar itself is 5. These are 10 pounds each, so 25 math. And I don't really feel like going much heavier for my lat raises, so do those first and kick over curls. And I also have to unload the other dumbbells. Let me do that. Last exercise of the day. Give me 3 sets of, or I feel like, really. Yeah. I think 3 sets of 9. I'm good. Pretty worn out already. Maybe 9, 7, 7. Regular dumbbell curls really kick my ego sometimes because like a hammer curl 55 for sets 8 and 10, fine. Then you drop down to like 30, 35. You actually get that twist into it and pull that long head up. Really cuts down the weight that you can pick up. So, a boom pump, or about 17 and a half-ish. About a 1/2 inch pump. Not bad. Maybe a little less than 1/2 inch. We're only sitting around 17, just under 17 and a quarter, I think. Just, when I wake up in the morning. So, all right, well, that was the upper day 1 of the week. So yeah, I think that was about a 45-minute workout, so not too long. Feel good. And let's move on to the next topic, or whatever it is. Like I said, it's Tuesday. I haven't filmed most of this. So, progress I made this week. I was 207.2 during my last video. I am now at 204.2, which feels really good. I can tell that my clothes are getting looser. I feel a lot better. I don't feel like I'm lugging myself around nearly as much as I used to. That's really all I had to report. So, all right, so let's talk about how I lost 40 pounds in 4 months and give you the tools to do it as well. So, this picture, I'm 180 pounds. I had actually already lost 20 pounds by that point. I'm in the Navy, and during my time for schooling, I was in Pensacola, I got all the way up to 200 pounds, but I wasn't any sort of muscular 200 pounds. I looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy walking across that brown on my whites. So I decided I was going to make a change. So the picture next to it, I am 156 pounds, I believe it was, in that picture. So how did I do that? Well, first I decided I was done. I was sick of being that size. I was tired once again of dragging my body around. So I decided to start eating cleaner. By cleaner, I mean I was eating a lot of fish, I was eating a lot of salad, was really trying to stay away from carbs. I did not know almost anything about fitness at the time, and I didn't necessarily realize what I was doing or what was actually causing me to lose weight. I didn't know about calorie deficits or what 3,500 calories was. So we're gonna talk about that. That way you can have the tools to properly and more effectively lose the weight. All right, so calorie intake is number one. It is how you lose weight. There is no way to twist it or turn it. That is what is happening. You need to be in a calorie deficit, which means first you need to find out what your maintenance calories are. There are tons of maintenance calorie calculators out there that take your weight, height, and gender into account and spit out a nominal number that may or may not be around where your actual maintenance calories are. I like to use macro factor. So this is what my expenditure looks like right now. It's $29.95 a day. And the reason I like to use macro factor is, unlike MyFitnessPal, which is good, but I don't like having to figure out what my calories were burned during a workout, enter it after a run, or whatever. Macro factor will just simply take your weight every day, every other day, and it will adjust your expenditure based on what your weight is and how it's changing. It makes things really easy. So 3,500 calories is 1 pound. So if you want to lose 1 pound a week, you are going to have to make sure that you are at a 3,500 calorie deficit per week. 2 pounds, 7,000 calorie deficit per week. When beginning on a cut, it can be hard because you are used to eating probably whatever you really feel like. So your first week, you're probably going to feel hungry. You shouldn't be feeling hunger pains, but if your stomach's rumbling and that sort of thing, then that's completely normal. It takes me about a week before my body settles in. It's like, okay, this is the calorie count that I'm going to get. After about 2 weeks, if you decide to say have a cheat day or something, you try to eat what you used to and you feel way fuller, way faster, and you may not even be able to eat as much as you did before. So just hold out, let your body accept the change, and it will make things a lot easier for you. 2 is working out. Come up with some sort of a plan. It doesn't matter if you're going to lift weights. It does not matter if you're going to go get on a treadmill. The entire goal here is to expend as many calories in a day as possible to increase that calorie deficit. The bigger that calorie deficit is, the more weight you're going to lose. It is healthy to lose about 2 pounds a week if you're really going to a more extreme-ish side, you could say, which is what I'm currently doing. But losing a pound a week even is pretty good. We're like 4 months out from summer, so you can lose quite a bit of weight in that time and get ready for the beach. Now, do you absolutely have to work out in order to lose weight? No, you don't. As I mentioned before, for number 1, it is all about calorie deficits, which means you can do the same exact thing that you do on a daily basis, but you start cutting those calories out and your body is using more calories than you're intaking, you're going to lose weight. So number 3 is going to be sleep. Sleep is very important when it comes to any sort of weight training or mitigating what your weight actually is. If you don't sleep much, your body doesn't get all those important processes that it needs to get in, and your recovery is a lot slower. While you sleep, recovery is much faster, and when I say recovery, I'm talking about your body repairing itself from your workouts. It allows your body to function better, you feel better, and it really helps with the weight loss as well. So those are my top 3 items on how to lose weight quickly. There is, of course, a million other tips that can be given, but when you're first starting, you just really need to pick the most important factors of what you need to do. As you become more experienced, you'll be able to take more tips and implement that into your life, but you never want to go too fast or try and implement too many things at one time, because the more things you really start trying to implement, the higher your chances of failure, because it gets much harder the more that you stack on top of yourself. So thank you for watching. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, let me know, and I will see you next time.